Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Carson Fox with part 3 of the episode series, the WVU Football Game Day Experience. In this episode, we're talking about parking and tailgating, all encompassing this theme and this ultimate question of what I'm asking: is the West Virginia University Football Game Day Experience worth it? Is it is it worth the high value that it costs to attend one of these games, from the perspective of an article that was published by Oddspedia this past October, in which West Virginia was ranked the second most expensive college football game day experience in the country, after researchers checked over 400 sources worth of information on tickets, sodas, hot dogs, beers, and parking, all for two people, in which West Virginia came up second behind just Oklahoma in the country at $264 for that package of two. So, talked about tickets already. Let's transition and let's talk about the next part of the WVU football game day experience in parking and tailgating. What I have to say first and foremost to lead this off is that I truly do think, after attending 3 games this past season, that West Virginia fans are blessed because of the physical layout, specifically of the parking lots for football, and the way that they enable the kind of tailgating experience that makes it, I would say, one of the top 10 tailgating atmospheres in all of college football across the country. Now, I haven't been to any of the other big timers out there, like, Ohio State, LSU, Ole Miss, Wisconsin, who, if you look at those national rankings by Barstool and so many other outlets out there, who are traditionally right alongside West Virginia, Penn State included, in the top 10 in the country. Now, I really would have liked to make that Penn State journey, make that voyage up to Happy Valley last year to see what it was all about. Unfortunately, just couldn't make it, and that's really why I wanted to go. I wanted to see the stadium in comparison, Beaver Stadium in comparison to Milan Pushkar, and I wanted to see what the tailgating atmosphere was like. But I've talked to enough people, heard enough takes from Mountaineer fans across social media that I kind of get an idea. Was at the Backyard Brawl in 2022, was at the Maryland game in 2021. So, and I could say both of those layouts, because they're so urban in a city environment, it kind of depends upon the parking lot at Pitt, because they do have some surrounding parking lots near what was Heinz Field, now Acrisure Stadium. But Maryland was terrible. I mean, Maryland, your campus is smack dab in the middle of the city. Nice campus. I liked walking it, but not at all the kind of tailgating scene that I'd been so accustomed to for all my life. And it truly is, I really do think it's just amazing how the big parking lot out in front of Ruby Memorial Hospital, over just a hop, skip, and a jump over to the green lots where I spend my Saturdays. So if you're ever in the green lot, please come say hi over to me, kind of in front of the garage in the handicap parking. My mom had major back surgery about 9 years ago, so have one of those handicap tickets, and that played great this year for having the ability to park in that green lot handicapped spot right up against the side. So would love to see you come by the tailgate this upcoming season. But what I would just say is, because of that physical layout, it's huge. If you were at the Backyard Brawl, incredible aerial shot from a drone or a flyover, getting the parking lots included, the blue lot going over to the green lot, the silver lot in behind. I think that's the red lot up on the side hill where little kids slide on cardboard boxes down the hills. It's just awesome on Saturdays. I will say, in one critical element, is that when you get to the back parts of the green lot, I'm talking you see very clearly Wings Olay and Kegler's into there. Obviously, the parking up at the Coliseum, the yellow lot down by the Book Exchange, behind Qdoba, and the purple lot toward Kegler's. It can be a bit of a walk, especially when we're talking about paying $40 or more. Where I'll be really critical of parking is specifically the blue lot, but the silver lot, red lot, teal lot, all within a 5-minute max walking distance of Milan Puskar Stadium, is only for season ticket holders only. That's like a challenge for me. And like I called last year to kind of know a little bit more about, hey, because I had this situation for my mom being handicapped and she wanted to go to a game for the first time in over a decade. Wanted to try and find an opportunity for her to get as close of parking to the stadium as possible. And the only opportunity, even for handicap parking, if to park in those lots, is if you have a blue, one of those passes for season ticket holders in the lots I outlined. And I said, okay, so how much is a blue lot pass, or how much is all of that? Well, get this, finding this out, that a blue lot pass really isn't all that expensive for an entire season. 150 to 250 bucks is what I can best remember off the top of my head and what you can find online. But you have to make something like a $2,000 or $2,500 donation to the Mountaineer Athletic Club just to get into a lottery for where WVU Athletics will assign you for your parking. So just because you want the blue lot doesn't mean you're guaranteed the blue lot, even after you pay what? I'm saying $22.50 or $27.50. Oh my gosh, that's just truly insane to me to park. That is way more than a mortgage payment in a month for me, and we're talking about parking for 6 to 7 Saturdays in the fall. Parking. So that's just a rip to me. It always has been with parking. Like I said in the tickets video, when West Virginia got good in the mid-2000s with Pat White and Steve Slayton, my family, we used to park over right next to the bank that's across from the green lot. If you're walking over from the green lot to the blue lot, and there's that bank in between, and then there's another little building, I forget what's in there. It's like a little yellow building, kind of old. We used to park in there pretty easily, and then it got outrageous. Somebody obtained it. I don't know if it was the athletic department or who else, but it was the same kind of thing. Not that kind of figures, but it was hundreds of dollars to get in just a lottery to get an opportunity at a parking spot. And my parents were just like, absolutely not. So now, what I will say, given those prices that are, in donation levels back to the Mountaineer Athletic Club, there are some really nice perks for those who need it, like the shuttles and carts back and forth that are built into the parking prices. I mean, the stairs have gotten so much better, over from where the drop-off is at the green lot from the shuttles, those stairs that walk over toward Mountaineer Field. And then, of course, the concourses on all of the sides. That used to be kind of pandemonium. I got to say, even fewer than, 10 years ago, like as those concourses and, roads getting paved, new kind of like sidewalks, that's gotten a lot better at that area to get into the stadium rather than just everybody swarm from all areas. So if you want a ride, you don't necessarily have to be handicapped back into the lots. If you're looking for a ride, that happened for my family and I in the Texas Tech game. We were walking back out shortly, like around halftime, because they couldn't deal with the weather. We hopped on the back of a cart and he took us all the way over to where the green lot roundabout kind of is. So that was really, really nice for us. So of course I know that comes with a cost. And there is the new green lot garage, which is very, very nice because of all that wonderful Big 12 money. I just still think, especially for those lots that I previously mentioned that are outside the like 5 to 10 minute walk that you can from, say, the blue lot, silver lot, red lot, teal lot, those outside still costing in the ballpark of $40 or more to park. I mean, come on. I think there's some opportunity more to shave those costs again, to lower this figure out of the top two in the country, because granted, so $40, I mean, standard if you go to any like professional sporting event nowadays, you're gonna play, and I know those are more home games than what just West Virginia is. So West Virginia is trying to make its buck on truly, like I said, 6 to 7 Saturdays. So it does with those lots that are used for that makes a lot of sense of Ren Baker whenever he came in as the director of athletics talking about additional opportunities to use the West Virginia's facilities for more entertainment purposes to drive revenue. So you have those empty parking lots that are never full unless it's for those fall Saturdays. So to use them is of the utmost importance. But still, to gouge fan bases on those far parking lots, $40 or more. That's where I think it gets a little, you're pushing the limits, I feel like. So let's transition from the actual parking and their costs to tailgating specifically. And I just got to say, enjoying this all of my life, West Virginia is obviously elite. And I do think, hearing from a lot of fans about the Penn State experience, that something that goes underappreciated is that actually we're standing on blacktop pavement. We're not standing in a cow pasture, especially if it rains like at Penn State. So yeah, you have a giant open field that you can, get to the stadium. But I think that's an underrated portion that, we kind of probably take for granted in some way, shapes, or forms. So other than the backyard brawl this past year, Porta-Johns are very accessible pretty quickly just about everywhere, and they're in decent shape. So toward the end of the tailgating hours of the backyard brawl, that's when it got a little messy, I'll just have to say. But from a tailgating experience, not a problem. Tents going up everywhere, all the different types of food, all the different kinds of shots of shine that you can have, and I saw, what was it, the blackout rage gallons or something that every 20-some-year-old kid was walking around with this past football season. That was a brand new experience that I had seen. So just a lot of fun in the parking lots that make tailgating such an awesome experience. And of course, Mountaineer Nation is just one of a kind. We are one of a kind of people in the way in which we provide hospitality, I feel like, even to opposing fans. I was really, really impressed with the respect from the BYU fans for that game that I went to. I mean, some of the nicest, down-to-earth people you'll ever meet. I'm pretty sure I saw on social media that BYU fans in their visitors section bought ice cream for everyone in the entire section, whether you were a BYU fan or a West Virginia fan. So awesome people. Even the Pitt game. I have a lot of, Pitt fan friends, so they're more afraid to come to Morgantown than I am to come to Pittsburgh for whatever reason. Ron Cook at the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and so many other media members have painted this picture that Morgantown, especially on a game day, is like Fallujah, and their cars either going to get keyed or broken windshield, or it's just such weird propaganda of what they think that Morgantown is, especially on a game day and you're a Pitt fan. So, but I think like not having Pitt fans in Morgantown for over a decade, it wasn't ugly. It was just that hotly contested, we hate you and you hate us kind of thing. But hey, come over here. Let's have a pepperoni roll. Let's have a shot, and we're going to go smash your face in. So that's what I experienced, at least. So if it got rough and rowdy for you, I'd love to hear like a story you have from this past year, because we know as Mountaineer fans the different narrative that will be pushed by the Pitt media and fans whenever this year's backyard brawl again comes back to Pittsburgh, rears its ugly head, and we unfortunately have to go up north and find and find out that and experience the kind of tailgating that we know is lame. Stadium is lame, at least like in the inside and the seats. But I'm just talking some smack here anyway. Now, what I will say also, about tailgating pregame kind of experience. I'm never one, unfortunately, who can make it to the man trips or other pregame festivities, but I just have to say, as an outsider looking into the situation, I've loved what West Virginia has been doing these past couple of years with pregame entertainment in the Almost Heaven Village. That makes it so much more of a family-friendly environment, and give really those who don't want to be the ones who are, doing shots in the parking lot and seeing some of the debauchery that you might see, for lack of a better term. That if you don't want to participate in that, especially, I mean, some people tailgate from the night before all the way through, Friday night through Saturday night. Or if it's a night game, you're starting as early as you possibly can get to Morgantown and spending, hours there. If it's a noon game, it might be a little harder, that you maybe come in the night before. But again, coming back to this Almost Heaven Village, having food options available, having some sort of pregame entertainment makes it more of an event. Makes these football games truly 6 to 7 family events all fall long. So rather than, if you just want to stand in the parking lots and consume alcohol, eat food, so on and so forth, at least you have that option closer to the beginning of the game that you can go run around and see some things that West Virginia sponsors. So really, really like that. I guess ultimately, in summary for this video, what I will say is awesome atmosphere that West Virginia creates for its fans, or that its fans create for itself. Hold on, pause. But when you think about it from a true cost revenue perspective of how much it costs to go and just park your car, it might be a little high when you consider it, factoring that all in with your total costs for the day. So not super, I think there are positives and I think there are minuses when it comes to parking overall. For the most part, it's just that parking for entertainment, whether it's a sporting event, whether it's a play or a show or a concert, that these venues, they gouge you. So one way that I think that if West Virginia, looking at this entirety of what a fan pays for when going to a game altogether, that West Virginia could find some options to better and rectify the situation. So on my recording end, it looks as if I'm frozen here. I hope you tuned into these last couple of minutes as I've talked through this while being frozen. So if I'm not frozen and you're like, what is he talking about? He looks fine. Sorry I'm even mentioning this, but rather than have to start this video all over again and record it, I'm just going to leave it way it is. Thanks for tuning into this. I'll stop it and hope you stick around for part 4 when I get into talking about the concessions, food and beverage at Mountaineer Field, and then part 5 when I'm going to be breaking it down, the actual in-game from first pregame through fourth quarter type of experience that Mountaineer fans have, and I'll break that down in my part 5 video. So thanks for tuning in for this one. Love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about parking and tailgating? Leave your comments here on YouTube. Smash that like button if you like this video so more fans can see this across YouTube. I appreciate all that you all do to share my message. I have a lot of fun doing this each and every week. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, and hail West Virginia. Let's go.